Hi, good evening, Jagan. Thanks for taking out the time to talk to us. And I'll start with the hard ones first. How is it when you see the creator economy in India? How do you see the transition happening? Because I'm seeing a lot of people just moving on to the cloud. What does that mean for your business?
Firstly, Nikhil, thank you for this interaction. I really appreciate you and your team taking time out to talk to me. Coming back to your question, creator economy in India, it is poised for a fascinating phase. Over the past 10 years, it has really matured into a very, very strong ecosystem. When the creator economy started evolving in India, it had certain basic traits: high on creativity, low on the ability to create effective content. With technology coming in, with robust infrastructure coming in when it comes to data dissemination, clearly the creators were able to engage with their consumers in a very, very interesting manner. The pandemic changed it all. It brought in a lot of interest from people who had a passion to create content using their skills in different fields and then communicate in their own way to a larger set of customers. Now, once that happened, there was a critical mass which enabled people to monetize their content. Today, we have a thriving economy out there where creators, be it professionals or amateurs, are able to create exciting content using the latest technology, at the same time monetize it in their own way to ensure that they're able to sustain it.
Absolutely.
I spoke about technology to create engaging and monetizing content. That's where we come in. Clearly, we are at the center of the creator economy. Why do I say this? Very simple. Content is the most important asset for any creator. And it's Western Digital that's providing different form of data storage solutions to enable content creators manage their content effectively. Now, the way we see different storage formats, be it external storage, which is add-on devices to the host devices that they use to create content. It could be a camera, it could be a smartphone, or it could be a computer, or it could be any other exciting new age devices like an Instacam, Dashcam, and whatnot. So you have an external storage that goes with that. Some of these devices actually come with an internal storage too. And you also have cloud, which enables people to have anytime, anywhere access. Now, the way we see content management is to actually happen across the spectrum, right? External storage offers endpoint solutions, internal storage offers on-device solutions, and then cloud offers a core solution. Now, it is a combination of all these three factors that is actually going to enable a content creator manage his content effectively. So it is not one versus the other. It is about how do we use each and every aspect of content solution from a storage perspective effectively to manage your content to deliver a great outcome for a strong consumer experience, right? So that's how I see it. So it's not one over the other, it's everything together.
So just to reiterate for our viewers, wherever they're saving it, even if it's on the cloud, there are highly big chances that it's stored on a WD drive, right? That's what I understand.
The way we see it is, we provide solutions, of all forms. It could be an external storage solution. So if it's an external storage solutions, we have very interesting brands like SanDisk, which is probably the most popular consumer flash storage brand. Then we have WD, under which we have our portable storage solutions for particularly for PC users. And then we have SanDisk Professional, which is purely meant for high-end content creators. We'll talk more about it, but at a high level, these are our external storage solutions. When it comes to internal storage solutions, depending on the use case, let's say, I'm an everyday user, so we have a portfolio called WD Green. I'm an office user, for productivity, we have a portfolio called WD Blue. And then when it comes to, say, gaming, we have a brand called WD Black.
Correct.
We also have solutions for surveillance, So surveillance is also a form of right, video-led content that is getting generated. Okay, we call that as unstructured content, and that is also needs to be stored. We have a product called Purple, and you spoke about cloud, right? So we have a brand called UltraStar, which provides hard drive and SSD-based solutions for our cloud customers.
Okay.
So effectively, we have a complete spectrum, right, of solutions to meet the storage needs of consumers.
That's great. So you're covering every base. Now I want to understand how is this AI, machine learning, and all these things changing the kind of market we are in right now, because we're seeing a lot of data being generated because of AI, because this regenerative AI also needs a lot of data feed in, and then only it can learn from it, and all that machine learning processes and all need huge amount of data storage. How is that affecting the business?
So clearly, right, talking about the creator community, right, the way I see it is cloud democratized technology. It allowed, right, everybody to access the latest technology. Okay, because it, from an ownership model, it actually made a pay-as-you-go model. We see AI actually democratizing content creation. So that's the impact of AI when it comes to content creation. What's AI done to the creator community? Okay? It has allowed people to ideate, to create content, to create imagery, to create videos, all right at the click of a button. Okay? Now, previously, you needed to be an expert in doing each and every aspect of it, which means that I could have a great idea, but I can't represent that in multiple forms, right? So AI is actually democratized that. Okay? If you're talking about idea generation, if you take a look at HubSpot, they have an idea generation engine. Okay? If you talk about content creation, ChatGPT 3 and 4, and then you have Jasper AI, right? So they all create phenomenal, text-based content that you're actually looking for. When you're talking about image-based content generation, okay, so you have DALL-E, which is the most popular one out there, and you have content creators creating different type of AI variants out there. You also have very interesting solutions like Midjourney. If you had seen Midjourney, it's still in a beta, it's in beta state. But okay, clearly today, the lines between an artist and a graphic designer is blurring. An artist can do what a graphic designer can do, and vice versa. A graphic designer can actually create a logo. So that's where AI is actually democratizing content creation. Now, if you get into the video space, so again, you have a lot of very interesting AI solutions out there. At the click of a button, you can create phenomenal videos like Canva, Video Now. So all these are actually happening at a rapid pace, and courtesy generative AI, which is based on large language modeling, is clearly democratizing the way AI can help content creators build great content which will engage users.
Of course.
End of the day, it's all about building that great consumer experience so that you can keep them hooked onto your content.
Absolutely. So as a content creator, I follow a rule where I back up my data on a drive, and then if I need faster data access, like my video libraries, I back it up on my SSDs, and then I also have cloud storage. Is it something that you also kind of propose everybody to do, or is there some other strategy that we should use?
It's a very, very important question, Nikhil. I'll tell you why, right? So we did a recent study to understand the data management habits of consumers in India. We realized that even after many years of technology evolution and multiple businesses attaching significant importance to data, the consumer mindset is all about, I won't lose data. Others around me can lose, but I won't lose data. So that's the mindset in which they are. We call this as optimum bias. The research said that 3 out of 5 customers either do partial or no backup at all. In fact, 1 out of 5 don't do backup at all. So which is scary. Whereas the same study said that about 48% of consumers have lost data once in the past 12 months. So you are prone to lose data, but you don't realize the value of the data. So when we actually dug deep, we figured out that people feel that either it is time consuming and tedious, or they think that it wouldn't happen to me, right? So this is an indifferent attitude which is of definite concern. As a leader in storage technology, we have taken it upon ourselves to educate the Indian consumers about the importance of data. So what does it mean to lose data is something that we are actually educating consumers. One important thing that we are recommending is a 3-to-1 rule. Okay. Which is to tell people that you will need to have data in 3 different formats.
Okay.
So one of them is cloud, 2 in physical form. Okay. So that's 3-to-1. 3, okay, and then 2 in physical form, and one of that physical form should not be in your location. It should be in another location. Okay. So 1 in cloud, 1 physical form with you, and another physical form, right? So if you really value data, which we believe is as important as gold, right? Just like how your rare metals actually appreciate in value, data too appreciates in value, and this is really important, particularly for content creators who are monetizing content. They need to follow the 3-to-1 rule. Okay, so this is what we are actually advising.
Absolutely, thank you so much for sharing it with the audience. I also wanted to learn, like you talked about the importance of data backup, and I personally use your iExpand series of data backup for iPhones and drives. So are there any other solutions that you recommend? Because for iPhone users, there's nothing else, right? Either it's a cloud backup or you put an iExpand drive. But there are other smartphones users like Android, and you talked about the importance of data backup. So what's the way and what's the tool?
So it's a very, very interesting question and a pertinent topic for a country like India. Now, so India is a mobile first country, which means that my first and my only device for digital access is my smartphone. So how do I manage content on my smartphone?
Yep.
So you have a micro SD card, which allows you to expand your storage. But how do we transfer large volume of content? How do I back up large volume of content? What is the most commonly used device in India? It's a pen drive.
Yeah.
So pen drive is the most commonly used parlance for a USB drive in this country.
Absolutely.
Now, not many know that there is a pen drive for a smartphone. Today, you can actually use a pen drive directly on your smartphone to back up the content you have there, or take the content and transfer it to another phone, right? So we have gigabytes of content today on your smartphones. There is no way you can transfer that content without having a physical device. Similarly, there's no way you can back up if that is your only device, right? So, for you to actually have the content. What we have done at Western Digital, we have a great solution called SanDisk Dual USB drive. We promote that as mobile key pen drive, and it's just not a physical device. There is also an app along with it called SanDisk Memory Zone. It allows you to manage all the content that you have on your smartphone, right? So, the drive plus the app, will help you move around your content, will help you put them in different folders. It will also help you mark, and organize as per either formats or dates. It will also allow you to post, on your social media content. It's a great solution, and we believe that this is a very important solution to bridge the digital divide across the country.
Of course.
So that's how we see this, right? Now this is for the Android ecosystem. Now on the iOS ecosystem, we are seeing a significant momentum in the India market today. That ecosystem is actually growing. The solution that you spoke about, which is iExpand, drive. We call this as pen drive for your iPhone. So we have a similar app ecosystem there called iExpand, and along with this drive, you can manage all the content that you have on your iPhone. Now there is one other interesting proposition which is coming, which is to manage a multi-device solution. You have content on your PC, you have content on your tab, and you have content on your phone. So our SanDisk extreme portable SSDs today, you have portable storage with SSDs becoming very, very popular today. Now that solution actually works across these devices, So just like how a pen drive would do, So if you look at the SanDisk Dual USB drive or the iExpand, you can take content from your phone and you can put it on your comp, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, a portable storage solution, right, using a SanDisk Extreme Portable SSD can actually do the same. So today we have a portfolio, right? At the high end you have SanDisk Extreme Portable SSD, and then you have your iExpand flash drive, and then you have your SanDisk dual USB drive, right? So depending on, right, what your need is, right, and depending on what a consumer is interested to actually afford, we have a solution.
Back of my head, I was thinking the kind of plethora of devices you have, and one more thing came to my head was your wireless charger that could also back up data. So the things are interesting and there's so much to talk about. I think we'll keep it for another episode. But today I want to understand, like, what are you guys doing for the creators in terms of gamers? Because gamers specifically is again a big economy, the esports of the world, and you have specific products for Xbox, PlayStation and PC gaming. So if you can throw some light on that.
Oh, definitely. Okay. So the way I see it, content creation started with gamers, right? So they started streaming their content.
Correct.
Okay? So it created an audience.
Yeah.
Okay? So I would say they are sort of the forerunners, right, in the entire content creator ecosystem. So we have, right, a specific focus on the gaming community. Their needs are very different from, right, the general purpose, right, storage solutions, right? So they are, right, a unique set of creators who have, right, a specific need for creating content, who have a specific need for actually experiencing games, and have a specific need for actually storing that. So we have a brand called WD Black, so under which we have, right, internal SSD solutions and external SSD solutions to address this. So let me explain. So when a gamer is playing, you have 4 important components within a gaming rig for him to get the best experience. So that is a CPU, there is a GPU, there is a RAM, and then there is, right, your storage. Now the CPU, GPU and RAM right, transfer data amongst themselves in gigabytes per second. Okay? The only place where the lag happens, right, is in the storage. If you have a hard drive, the max it can do practically is about 140 Mbps. So that's where SSDs come in. Okay? So our WD Black internal SSDs are like state-of-the-art solutions. Right? They are just not about a Gen 4 physical SSD. It's actually an intelligent solution. So what this does is actually, right, transfers data at about 7,300 Mbps, which is really fast. Not just that, right? It has intelligence built into it. Okay, we call that as a game mode. Okay? So it predicts what would be the next sequence in a game, and then it takes that, right, storage and then delivers it to the GPU for it to actually, perform better. We call that as, right, predictive loading. Okay? Similarly, it also looks at the thermals, okay, and then optimizes the thermal. Right? Because when you are on game mode, you go full throttle, right? Your CPU goes on full throttle, right? So it actually optimizes the thermal to ensure that the game mode can be extended, right? So it's a very intelligent solution, right? So which is very useful for gamers. Now, when it comes to creating content, again, so it's it's important that the write speed is also, right, higher, because how does a gamer create content? He plays the game. Okay? At the same time, right, he records the game. So read and write is happening in tandem. So this is where this solution actually excels, right? So it allows them to create content also in a very effective manner. Now, all gaming titles, right? Now just getting into external storage. All gaming titles today are, right, upwards of 10, 20. Some of the games are like even 100
GB plus,
right? 100 GB plus, right? Yeah. So there's only that much your internal storage can actually take, right? So you'll need to have an external library which actually has the capability to quickly move around games which I'm not playing now, or I want to move in something which I want to play. So we have an external storage portfolio under WD Black, right? You have both SSDs and hard drives to actually enable the gamers manage their game library. Okay? So this is for PC gaming. Okay? If you actually look at our console gaming, right? So we have, right, a great solutions for both PS5 and Xbox, right? So we have, right, a licensed, right, storage solution for expanding storage in your PC, in your PS5 gaming console. Right? All you need to do is just take this and then add on to that, and automatically it becomes an extended storage set. So this is a big boon, because the built-in storage is not much. Right? So this really helps the PS5 gamers. Same is the case with Xbox. We have add-on cards to ensure that you can add storage seamlessly without doing anything significant to enhance the storage experience with respect to Xbox. Right? So we have a great portfolio. Right? The other thing, we also have solutions for Nintendo. Why? We have micro SD cards called Nintendo Switch. While it's not hugely popular in India, I'm just giving you the gamut that we have. So that's under SanDisk brand. It's called Nintendo Switch. Right? So we have a gamut of solutions that are there to provide the right experience for gamers.
So we've talked about content creator, we talked about general public, we talked about all the gamers. We are not going to talk about professionals. What are they using, and what are the products that you have for professionals? Like people like we are shooting right now are all professional setups. So what is the products that you talk about?
So India is homes to one of the largest professional content creation ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay? At the high end of it, if you look at movies, so we produce about 1,600 movies a year, right? You add up all the languages, it's huge.
Yeah.
Throw in OTTs, right? So last figure I read is about 400 original OTT series have been created in India. Yeah? So that's at the high end of content creation. But you also have about 150,000 professional content creator ecosystem. Right? It includes independent pros, right? So people who create content on their own, the high end of the influencers that you see out there, and then you have genuine content creation houses, right? Say organization hours. Right? We create a lot of videos, both for corporate users and also for marketing use cases, right? So there's an ecosystem which actually does that. Okay? Then you have a lot of marketing agencies which and advertising agencies which create a lot of content, right? Now these people, all these people have a professional setup for actually creating content. One very important example is what we are doing right now as part of this interview. Right now here, they actually go through a complete workflow. So you create content, and then you transfer that content into a solution. And then you edit that content, finished product, and then you actually archive that content. So it's a complete workflow, right? Now, this workflow, as we speak, is actually disjointed in multiple ways, right? Because you create content in multiple formats. You can use a micro SD card, you can use an SD card, right? You can use a compact flash card, you can use an SSD, in different formats. You use multiple devices to actually create content, right? So as we speak right now, you're actually using 3 devices, right? To actually
three different devices.
3 different devices to record this, right? So imagine actually doing a shoot. I was talking to one of the movie production houses. They said to shoot one scene, sometimes they use 50 different cameras. Can you believe it? 50 different cameras. Now same scene, different cameras. Imagine the number of variation that would come and the complexity that would create in the edit table.
Correct.
Now first and foremost is this is done in different environments. Sometimes it's done in harsher environments. Okay, so your device should be able to withstand that environment. 1 and 2. Once you have different devices under which the recording is done, you should have a mechanism to actually seamlessly transfer all that into the edit table. So you'll need to have a compatible solution for you to actually transfer that content. Okay, and then thirdly, at the edit table, you should have high performance solutions for you to do the editing quick.
Correct.
Then lastly, you should have enough capacity for you to store the precious content safe. Now we have a portfolio called SanDisk Professional. This is meant for professional content creators, and we have solutions across all the workflow that I'm talking about, right? For creating content under different harsh extreme environments, we have SanDisk Professional SD cards. We have SanDisk Professional SSDs to actually do the recording. Now you do it with different formats, and then they'll need to be transferred seamlessly. So we have a solution called SanDisk G-Dock Pro. So you can insert a micro SD card, SSD, and multiple formats of that into one, and then from there you can actually transfer to your edit table. Now, for your edit table, okay, we have a solution to ensure that the entire storage is kept near the workstation. Okay, so workstation can't take the entire content, right? So we have a complete solution. It could be hard drive based or SSD based. We call that as G Drive Pro. Okay, so that actually takes all the content from the from the G dock and stores it there to work on the edit table. Now I said lot of content, gigabytes of content, maybe terabytes of content for them to transfer fast. All these work on Thunderbolt 3. Okay, so they can be daisy chained. You can add stacks of content, a storage. You can also transfer it fast, So when you do daisy chaining, and if you work on Thunderbolt 3, 2800 Mbps is the speed with which you can actually transfer content, So this is the level of complexity that is involved, and we have a solution to actually do this seamless workflow management. The last thing is the archival. I spoke about archival. So we have an enterprise grade archival solution under SanDisk Professional. Recently we introduced 22 terabyte hard drive. These solutions actually come in aluminum casing, and they also can be stacked, daisy chained, and it's like you can do up to 6 drives connected. Effectively that gives you a huge storage box for you to actually do it. So we are excited. We see a lot of interest and requirement in the India market to serve some of the compelling needs of professional content creators. We'll get to hear more about this in the coming days.
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your insightful talk and letting us know so much about WD and SanDisk together. Thank you.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Nikhil.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. We'll meet soon. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.